We exist to secure two fundamental principles. First, America has a right to know what they get. You know, one of those days, I'm going to skip this. I brought the wrong glasses. I'm really embarrassed. I'm trying to read them and I can't. Okay. Without the glasses, we exist to secure two fundamental principles. First, Americans have a right to know that the money Washington takes from them is well spent. And second, Americans deserve an efficient, effective government that works for them. Our duty on the Oversight and Government Reform Committee is to protect these rights. Our solemn responsibility is to hold government accountable to taxpayers, because taxpayers have a right to know what they get from their government. We will work tirelessly in partnership with citizen watchdogs to deliver the facts to the American people and bring genuine reform to the Federal bureaucracy. And good morning again. Our hearing today is going to scrutinize government agencies and the Federal regulatory process. We not only know on this committee that it is flawed and that it often punishes job creators and stifles economic growth, but President Obama has spoken about and even launched an effort to evaluate regulations that create unnecessary burdens. Regulatory agencies under this administration, though, have gone in the opposite direction. And understand, regulatory agencies under every administration have a push to do more. But under this administration, we have increased from 2,044 in 2009 to 2,439 in 2010. Another way of putting it is they pass more laws than we do here in Congress. Their laws are not subject to accounting in the way that we are. If we cost more money, we have to find offsets. Regulatory agencies have an inherent right to pass on cost to you. We have seen the budgets of these regulatory agencies grow by 16% over the last 3 years. Investors Business Daily summarized, the Federal Government's regulatory operation were a business, it would be the 50th largest in this country in terms of revenue and the 3rd largest in terms of employees. Regulators in America represent a larger workforce than all of McDonald's workers, Ford's workers, Disney's, and Boeing's combined. With 250,000 regulators, there is no question that job security is, by in fact, growing their operation. Employment at regulatory agencies has climbed 13% since President Obama took office, and the number of staff working on regulatory matters is scheduled to increase at a rate of 10,000 new employees per year over the next 2 years. The number of full-time regulators now is expected to reach, in 2012, 291,000. Meanwhile, since President Obama took office, private sector jobs have declined by 5.6%. We don't blame the President for the growth of regulation. We don't blame the President for the loss of jobs. But under his watch, this has occurred. Under our watch, Mr. Cummings and myself, we have an obligation with the President to reverse this trend. The administration has 219 economically significant regulations in the pipeline right now. If finalized, these would cost $100 million or more each year to the economy. That is a minimum cost of $219 billion over 10 years. And understand, when I said that, each of them is significant. Therefore, each of them cost more than $100 million apiece. To date, the administration has already imposed 75 new regulations at a cost of more than $380 billion over 10 years. The business owners and workers who we will hear from today are not Fortune 500 executives. They are Main Street business owners and workers from around the country. They, their families, co-workers, and employees bear the cost of new and proposed regulations. For them, the business around the country has a price greater than just compliance. It is, in fact, a hidden tax, uncertainty, and perhaps the loss of jobs not yet created or jobs that will not be retained. An uncertain regulatory climate breeds a market of uncertainty, forcing job creators' capital to wait on the sidelines. Making matters worse, the Federal agencies charged with serving as a watchdog over Federal rulemaking, ORIA, has failed to take meaningful action to address the breakdown in this process. One of our questions today will be, if an agency says something is not economically significant, meaning less than $100 million, and later that's proven to be flawed, is there going to be a do-over, or do we simply assume that we didn't catch that one and it becomes law without the scrutiny of its economic impact? Today we will hear from Administrator Susstein and expect him to address specific details of why and how this has happened and what we can do to fix it. I would like to take note that the written testimony he will provide to the committee fails to answer the questions that we have asked. I intend to ask Mr. Sunstein, thank you, to explain how the regulatory process can be circumvented, ignored, or openly flaunted by the bureaucracy in a manner contrary to direction given by the President. Thus far, the rhetoric we have seen from the Obama administration on the issue of regulatory reform has not matched its deeds. But we take the President at his word. We intend to assist in seeing that under our watch and under the President's watch, we reverse this trend. And in order to be fair to the ranking member, I will put the rest of my opening statement in at this time, and I recognize the ranking member for his opening statement.